Hello, everyone, and welcome to PAPAtv Live. My name's John Replogo, and we are here just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are going to play two games for you. We're going to play NBA Fastbreak and Bad Cats. I am here joined with my ever-faithful companion, Fred Cochran. Hi, Fred.
Pleasure as always, John.
And I'm also here joined by Matt Magnone, also known as Matt3756, a special guest. Welcome,
hey,
Matt.
what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
That's
Glad
an awesome
to be here.
logo.
Yeah.
I like that. It looks like kind of a metal logo. That's sweet.
Yeah. Well, it's like, got the M and the T kind of clawing the 3756 was kind of the idea.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, going in depth there.
So it's set up if you didn't make the YouTube channel work, which it obviously has worked, but you could also just go form a band and rock out.
Yeah, exactly. So we're covered.
He's young and cool, so he could pull that off. We're old and not.
Well, I got nothing for that. Already, you got me going.
But
already.
as far as and thank you for Matt for coming down and playing some pinball with us.
Yeah.
If people aren't familiar with Matt, he is I would say probably an expert at claw and games of chance games, which he insists are games of skill. And if you watch any of his videos, you can see how much, he first kills them, but how much skill is actually involved in doing them.
Where can people watch your channel at?
So if you just go to YouTube and just type in Matt3756 in the search, I'll pop up, or just youtube.com/Matt3756. I have an official website too, but it's not really that official. It's just Matt3756.com. It's kind of just on getting started with that, but that links back to my channel as well and some merch that I have. So
I was out in the parking lot to go get the pizza, and I saw your car, and you have a personalized license plate. What does it say?
I do. It says Claw Guy.
Claw Guy.
Yeah.
All about the claw, man. I couldn't believe. I looked over. I was like, "That's perfect."
Is this sort of like the claw?
Isn't that perfect? Yeah. I mean, when I found out it was available, I was like, yes.
Yeah, you are the claw guy. So, but like Matt is
cool.
also involved. He's a vendor and an exhibitor at Replay FX. He's been there every year that we've been there, and he'll be here this year for his fourth year. So, well, first, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's an awesome convention, and it's like my niche. It's you go and just it's the arcade again. It's like you're just walking back in time. It's awesome.
You have our red zone in your booth, and
yes.
you have a tabletop claw game.
Yeah.
And
one of two claw machines that I own. It's a table. It's only 3 feet tall, and I have it there. Do a meet and greet, and I got like merch and free pictures and stuff and whatnot to sign. So.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's fun. So we're gonna watch CDs blow up NBA Jam or
Nice.
NBA Fastbreak for a second here, because it is basketball season. It is the playoffs, so it is serious business at this point. John knows nothing about basketball.
There's a player called LeBron James. He's playing in Cleveland by himself, apparently.
That's
what I'm told.
He actually thinks John Havlicek is still playing for the Celtics, but he's not. We have a bracket, actually, that we can throw up on the screen in an old school NBA Jam graphic. If anyone has followed the NBA, that we'll throw up on the screen, and there it is. The remaining teams right now are the Rockets, the Jazz, the Pelicans, who used to be the New Orleans Hornets, and then they were the Charlotte Hornets before that. Golden State Warriors, Toronto Raptors, Cleveland Cavaliers, Philadelphia 76ers, and Boston Celtics. So if you follow basketball, then this should be right up your alley.
Fred knows his stuff.
Yeah,
basketball.
I can read a screen. It's pretty awesome.
I thought Fred only knew hockey stuff, but
All-encompassing, John.
wow.
All-encompassing.
I bow before your sports knowledge, Fred.
You should. It's only seconded by your narcissism with pinball. But it's okay. So Chris, what do you when you play this? What are you going for? It looks like you got some stuff already lit solid. So what do you usually go for when you start this, Chris?
I like to try to get the 1, 2, 3, 4 up top. I always aim for the outside ones first as well, just because it seems like those are the ones that fail the most, I guess, in a way.
Okay. Yeah, because there are times where it will brick out of, or it won't even make it up the habit trails, and it'll time out.
And like on this one in particular, you'll notice that the number 1 up top to get the around the world, it's not really working all too well. So you have to make sure that whenever you shoot it, you have to yell Kobe.
Okay, Kobe. Then that'll work. Or Achilles tendon, or something like that. Because I know he had a bad Achilles. That's what made him I think retired. Besides being old, I think his Achilles was what his crutch was. But Chris started shoot-around multi-ball, which is actually obtained by shooting the shoot letters, which you see on the playfield currently. And that was a horrible double drain.
Yeah.
But I believe it's as simple as just starting those 5 shots, and that's what starts your multi-ball.
So NBA Fastbreak is a 1997 Bally game, and it was came from the George Gomez design team. George is also responsible for other games in the 90s like Corvette and Johnny Mnemonic, some really wonderful stuff. And George is still doing programming today with Stern.
Yeah, he's in more of a leadership role there, from what I understand. And he's, I think he's an advisor, but I think he's more in a management role currently. But I could be wrong. I don't know the ins and outs of Stern Pinball's inner workings.
So when I started collecting pinball, NBA Fastbreak was considered. How do I put this? It was considered a junk game, and NBA Fastbreaks were actually being ripped apart.
Jeez.
And they were taking the board set out of it because you couldn't get replacement boards for certain components of the Williams 95 system. And the Williams 95 system includes games like Attack from Mars, Monster Bash, Medieval Madness. And so they were ripping the board sets out of NBA Fastbreaks and just trashing the machines.
Why was it considered a trash game, so to speak?
It wasn't as flashy, and it certainly didn't have as deep of a rule set as some of the other games. But honestly, at this point, I can't really tell you that because it actually is a good game. It's just maybe not as good as Attack from Mars or the others. And if you couldn't get a board to make those other ones work, I probably would have ripped one of these apart too to make it work. This and another game that got ripped apart a lot during that time period is Congos, which is widely considered an excellent game now, but those got destroyed as well.
All right, John, so I have to interrupt your touching story about games being destroyed and mangled.
It's touching, is it?
Karen Malena is Matt's mom, and she is in the chat room.
Hi, Mom.
So,
Sweet.
So we want to give a shout out to Karen for tuning in, and thank you. And your son's pretty awesome, which is why we have him on first and foremost. But it's great to see that you're in there and enjoying what we do.
Yeah, my mom's been a really awesome supporter of me, and I got to give her credit for putting up with all the thousands of plush toys that I brought home from the claw machine when I was younger. It's like, do we need another toy? But she was pretty cool about it, and glad to see that
being supportive.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So obviously, we've talked about what you do with your games of skill in your claw games and things like that. But what got you into pinball?
Ironically, I know a lot of people are going to cringe when I say this, but believe it or not, virtual pinball. And I know I don't like it anymore either. Trust me, I got rid of my machine and everything. But the reason I think that virtual pinball got me into it was I was able to, pick a table and kind of just study the ins and outs on what gives the points and whatnot. Because what makes pinball, or at least makes it more fun for me to play, is what I know what's going on. Because a lot of the newer tables, there's a lot going on,
right?
And it can get confusing. So if I were to learn certain shots and what would give the multi-ball and the jackpots and whatnot, then it made it more fun for me to play, and virtual pinball kind of allowed me to do that. And then that kind of got me into, when I came to replay effects, it'd be like, oh, I played that on virtual pinball. Here it is
here's the real thing.
Here's the real thing, exactly. And then, once you go to real pinball, you never go back. So
yeah, it's interesting you say that, too, because we've had the discussion about virtual pinball on here a number of times and how people feel about it. And you're an exact, person that has taken virtual pinball and applied it to real pinball and gotten into the real hobby, which is fantastic. And a lot of people don't like virtual pinball, but it actually brings more people into the hobby. And they just have to be more open-minded about it.
Yeah, I think that's generally the consensus, is that virtual pinball is a good thing because it's keeping alive a hobby that's that was in decline for many years and actually now is on the rise again, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a great thing. And it's also, it really is good for rules knowledge, just like you were talking about. It's good to be able to learn, just as long as you don't substitute and lose the feel for the real physical play.
Right.
Right, and there's no replicating it. Like
No.
I said, I've played virtual pin, and
Yeah, there's no.
again, it's great for what it is. But when you play one, and you can play regular pinball,
Mhm.
it's really hard unless you want to learn how to play the games to play virtual pinball over real pinball.
Right.
But that's just me.
Nah, yeah, I totally agree
Kobe.
with that.
So he said Kobe and he got it.
It
So
worked.
now he's got around the world multi-ball.
It increases your chances of scoring by about 217%.
Never tell me the odds.
Those are specific odds, Chris. And how did you calculate that?
Lots and lots of field testing and practice.
It sounds like this kind of number you just threw off the top of your head, and I'm just gonna.
I think he
leave it
did
at
that by playing virtual pinball.
Virtual
You
pinball.
never know.
He might have. He might have.
So, early trivia question for the evening. NBA Fastbreak is the only game that I know of that has special scoring conditions for PAPA tournaments. In a PAPA tournament, there's a special scoring for NBA Fastbreak, and that's when you get the NBA ring. And so, how many points is an NBA ring worth in a PAPA tournament? And that's the question for the chat room, and we'll give you the answer to that in a little bit.
I'm glad because I never even knew that even existed, and I've never played this game to the point where I got to the championship ring. So, Chris Warren actually chimed in pretty quickly and said 100 point for rings.
Well,
is that correct?
we'll say what the answer is in a little bit.
Okay, so he's on the record as 100 though, so he wants to be the first person to guess. Maybe he guessed correctly. Jason Wood says 100 as well. So we're 2 for 2 with 100, but we're not going to divulge the answer yet. Okay, so Steve Bowden, Fun with Bonus. What's up, Steve? Says 1,000 points for a ring.
Steve says 1,000. That's interesting.
That's
and
a
Steve's
lot.
pretty knowledgeable. I mean, he's a pinball expert.
That's a lot of baskets, man. I think my arm would be tired.
Yeah.
That's
I
a lot
kind
of
of got
free
it.
throws.
I kind of got an advantage because I heard them talking earlier about how many points it is. I won't say it, but
Okay, so
I
Drew,
got an unfair advantage.
so we got a
there.
bunch of people in with 3756 at the end of their handle. So Drew 3756 says 500 points for the
Okay.
ring.
500 points. So we have 3 guesses. I'm going to say right now that one of those 3 guesses is correct.
So one of the 3 grasses. I'm just messing
Look.
with you, John. Of course, one of the 3 guesses.
Don't
of
mess with me. My name is Sean Connery.
course. Okay, Connery.
Hey, what's up, Jess from Zone 28?
So, Matt's got some fans in here, which is fantastic. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and hopefully you'll return.
Yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel. They do a lot of, and we got a tilt.
Yeah, Pete Hendricks, the West Virginia state champion, tilted out, and Evan Bookbinder, our eternal weatherman.
He'll never be a point guard. But I don't know. Spud Webb was his point guard, though. So I think he probably could be a point guard, except
Oh, help me out, guys.
he'd have to wear the Kurt Rambis glasses.
What jersey number does...
Anthony Hardaway. 1.
Number 1, yeah.
My guys don't let me down.
Okay, so we have trivia in the chat room with John, trivia on the game
With Evan.
with Evan, who will never be a point guard.
It's creature all day.
Creature all day.
That is the same shot, too, isn't
It
it?
is.
Never actually thought about that. So Evan's talking about the left shot from Monster Bash. And it could also be the kiss shot from Creature from the Black Lagoon.
It could be.
Either
It could
way.
be.
Oh, it's coming down.
All from the same era, but slightly, better
That's
games,
trouble.
in my opinion. Monster Bash, one of the best games ever. And then Creature is... I don't like Creature. I have a bad history with Creature. Nick Jaquay will tell you about my history with Creature.
Your history with Creature is the same as mine, Fred. It's bad.
Shoot the slide. I will not shoot the slide.
Nick Jaquay, the CEO of the Steel City Pinball League.
That's enough.
He has a C on his jersey. He's missing the EO, so he should be CEO.
He just wants to wear something that makes him look like Crosby.
Advertising.
Nick Jaquay, if you do, just to give a shout out, if you're interested in playing pinball here in Pittsburgh, we've got the PPL, we've got the Steel City League, we've got the Bopple League for the Ladies League. We've got lots of opportunity to play in Pittsburgh. So if you move to Pittsburgh or you're going to be here for work for however long, just come down and play a couple weeks.
Wow.
That seemed rigged.
That was the real nature of pinball. The ball is wild, and the ball just decided it was done with Nick.
Okay, Chris Warren in the chat, John, says, give us some trivia questions from the game. Do you know
There,
those?
you want one? I'll give
No,
you
I
one.
don't. I don't know them. Go ahead. Help us out.
Actually, I had one.
I
I got one from the game that I got earlier. Go ahead, Chris. You go. I'll pick mine next.
All right, I have one. How many points is the correct answer worth?
How many points is the correct answer worth? It is
I
worth.
don't know.
I
I'm
know
gonna
what
say
it is.
3.
It's worth 10.
10.
Oh.
Way to leave the suspense out there, Fred. That's wonderful. You're really good at that.
Well, I know how to ruin everything. It's okay. But besides, I wanted to get to my question, so I wanted to get that over with. So
How about this one?
okay, let's see here. What NBA team scored the most points during the 94-95 season? Minnesota,
That was
Orlando,
23 years
Phoenix.
ago. Who knows this stuff?
I'm going to say the Phoenix.
Oh, no.
Who was it?
I don't know. I tried to go to Magic, and it wouldn't let me.
Okay, so I can tell you one thing. If you get it wrong, I know how many points you get for it wrong. One.
So there's a participation trophy for getting it wrong.
Nice.
Okay, so the question that I have, and Chris is going to tilt here in a second.
Oh, you got away with one.
I
Which
did.
NBA star was actually still in high school playing on an NBA team? Can anybody guess that one? If you can go back 20 years.
You told me earlier, and I still don't remember.
I didn't tell you.
Wait, what was the question again?
So what NBA player in, I think it was 93, 94, was actually playing in the NBA while still in high school, before that rule was in place?
Shaq?
Michael Jordan.
It was not Shaq. It was not Michael Jordan. KG. KG.
Ken Griffey.
No, that's baseball. But he was playing baseball. He was playing baseball when he was 20.
Bo
I think.
Jackson.
No, Bo Jackson did not play basketball. Okay, so we got Kobe in here. Steve, you're wrong. Drew says Magic. They're wrong. Rodman, no, the Worm did not do that. And then Steve takes another guess of Kevin Garnett, since I said KG, and he's absolutely right. It was Kevin Garnett.
Nice live catch.
So Kevin Garnett was playing in the NBA in high school,
Come on.
which is insane.
That's pretty cool.
So, and
How many titles have the Celtics won?
they're I think it's in the 20s. I think I can't remember how many. They're one of the top franchises in sports as far as championships are concerned.
16.
Ooh, 16. My way to destroy the suspense, John. Nice job.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh man, I
he
felt
got gypped on that rail too. It fell off.
Did it fall off?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so the interesting thing, if I was in a tournament situation and watching this happen, I would start choosing maybe not to shoot that shot because that shot seems to be
It's
deadly.
deadly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to bring this up because this is great. Whenever I talked about Kevin Garnett playing basketball in high school,
Yeah.
SG Devotee was eating paste in high school.
Scott, what's up, Scott?
Not playing basketball, he was eating paste.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're probably not alone. I just want to let you know.
All right, so we got Pete Hendricks up here, who is not going to be a point guard in the NBA.
But he is going to play a shoot-around multi-ball.
And he's tough in the paint, though. If you get in there, he has pointy elbows.
Was that a
He'll take you
Lazarus
out.
ball? It looked like
That
it was.
yeah. Oh, that was a reject from that no, I can't say H.
Come on, Connery. Stay.
Shut up, Trebek.
Before I go, you were talking about the trivia.
Yes.
I've heard an old wives' tale that there's a rule in place that you can't use guides because somebody was playing this and trapped up and pulled out papers before shooting the trivia question.
and you're not allowed to do that, right?
You're not,
And
not
so
anymore.
in a tournament
I think because
pinball,
of that.
so I would assume you're allowed to consult that when you're away from the machine, but while you're playing your ball, you can't trap up and look at a cheat sheet.
Okay, so to kind of piggyback that, Steve Eck, our tech here at Papa, has been working here since 2008 or whatever. He said one of his first tournaments that he saw here in the building, it was one of the Sharp brothers. It was either Josh or Zach was playing a game, trapped up, got on his cell phone, and called their dad on how to make a shot or what shot they should be making next.
So I think that would get you disqualified in the modern era of tournaments.
I don't know if this is true. I can't substantiate it in any way, but it's a great story.
I have not seen that happen. So I'm going to have to go with, I'm calling BS on that.
What, you calling Steve Eck a liar?
I'm just calling BS.
I think you're calling him a liar. I'm going to tell him tomorrow. You wait and see.
Oh man, Steve's
I could
gonna
believe
get me.
that. It's almost like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire lifeline, so they got 30 seconds to phone a friend, right?
I'd be
What
texting
shot
somebody.
did-
Don't
in my
get me
pocket.
wrong,
I'd be
Matt.
sitting-
I can completely see Josh calling his father, saying what shot. I can't see Zach doing it, but I can see Josh doing it.
Chris Warren says if it was Josh, he would have came in second anyways.
Oh man, Josh Sharp, the person who won the circuit final.
Oh,
this
that's
year,
a great
so.
burn. Nice job, Chris. Oh, my God. That's fantastic. All right, I think I got an update about the Penguin game here. I got to look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Instead of the Penguin game, I'm doing this. My priorities are all wrong.
I don't know what the score is, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, it's no score at the end of the first.
All right.
No Nicholas Backstrom for the Capitals tonight.
So, what was your favorite pinball game from the 90s, Matt?
In the 90s.
Remember, he just
Yeah,
started
well, I
following
mean,
last year,
Bad
Joe.
Cats is, I think, was 89.
87 or 89.
So, I mean, I'm assuming Bad Cats is your favorite from the 80s, right?
Well, Bad Cats was actually the pinball that one of the pins, I should say, that got me into pinball. It's one of the ones I played on virtual, and it was simple enough to where, I could learn it and be like, oh, okay, this is neat, and okay, now I know how to get the jackpot. This is cool, and then I'd try to beat my last score. So, I'm not really good on the dates, but I really do like. Let's see, Attack from Mars. Is that a 90s?
96.
96, yeah.
That is a 90s.
I like. Well, how about Medieval Madness? Is that a 90-ish?
97 or
Okay.
Yeah, into 98.
Yeah, so I like those because, well, if you play them, they're very similar. Not like similar. You can kind of tell that they're designed by like the same manufacturer.
They have
the
similar.
same
Oh yeah, they have
feel.
similar
Yeah.
feels. Right. They're called. That was actually sort of the beginning of the fan layout, which is actually NBA Fastbreak has a fan layout,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the exact feel like those ones
Right.
did because the middle was more open on those.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to have Matt join in on this game. He's going to be playing player number 4 on Fast Break, so we're going to see what his
good.
basketball skills
All
are.
right.
See if you can be a small forward.
Yeah, my pinball skills are probably better than my basketball skills.
I mean, would you say that? Would you say like the same skills translate from pinball to like other redemption games and video games in general?
That's a really good question, and I would say yes, and especially for the game that we have at Replay, the Red Zone game. Somebody made a really good point on that, and it's basically just a game of skill shots in pinball. So basically, if you're not familiar with what Red Zone is, it's a game where you shoot a red ball up and it goes, and you have to get it in wherever the red lights are lit, and it's like a little S curve thing. And it's a redemption game, so if you get 3 out of 4 lights correct, 3 out of 4 zones, you get a small prize, and then if you get the 4 out of 4, you get the major prize, which is usually like, they'll put like gift cards and stuff in there.
Yeah,
and it's 100% skill.
The major prize that you win is a visit from John Repligal, and he'll come over and tell you how awesome he is at pinball.
Get John Repligal's voice in your home answering machine.
And by the way, Jared Chambers is up here playing right now, and he's learning how to sit tight tilt bobs.
Oh, here we go up top.
This is a new graphic that we've been messing around with that James Coons has been able to pull up here, and it's going to disappear as quickly as it appeared. Watch this. Goodbye.
James Coons, our spelling challenged producer.
So, but sorry, I got off. You were saying something actually helpful and insightful.
No, you're good.
And I ruined it all, Matt. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, we were talking about how skill translates.
Yes,
or from like arcade games. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's timing that's involved. So, like for example, arcade, you don't really, unfortunately, see them a lot anymore. Like the token action games. A lot of those are just timing on waiting for what we call a strike point on when to put the token in. Same with pinball too.
You're talking about like the old bulldozer coin push games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or even
like
many
smoking
other
token
games.
where you put the token and goes to the
Oh,
little
I used
spinning
to
wheel.
play that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's downhill
It's all
skiing,
timing,
man.
It's all. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is because whenever I did play Smoking Token when it used to be down at Zone 28 when it was Fun Fest,
Yeah.
and I finally learned when to drop it. And
Yeah.
you find out that spot on the wheel when it's turning.
Yep.
And you're able to make it through that thing where it seems like it's only as wide as a token.
Right.
But it's timing. So.
And that gives you the most tickets,
Right.
obviously. Yep.
So Nick Jaquay back up to play again. Let's see if he tilts his ball back again. Got to shoot some hoops now.
I'm going with odds are high. What do you think, Fred? I mean,
I think he is. I think he's still thinking he's fixing games. He's just going to be angry and bitter. And he's in a labor dispute with the SCPPA. I'm not sure what that even is. I'm not sure if Nick can.
That's the Steel City Pinball Players Association, of course, Fred. I mean,
oh,
what else could that be?
That's right. I guess the commissioner's over here on the board running the show, so maybe there'll be like a grudge match fight later or something. I don't know.
Oh gosh, duke it out.
All right, so hold on. Who's up here?
Oh,
Matt's going to go up here and play player 4. Evan tried to bogart, and we just kicked him out of here.
And so let's see if Matt's talk is as good as his
I
walk is as good as his
earlier
talk.
on this, but we'll see.
You can see the little crane down there in the bottom picking Matt's head up. That's pretty sweet.
And also joining us in the booth is Mr. Pete Hendricks. Welcome, Pete.
Hi, John.
Oh, we got
Pete,
the
you
little,
are our resident expert on NBA Fastbreak. How do you feel about that?
You kind of have to let
Not
that bounce up there when that's the way I do it.
But we'll make it through.
You can get the timing down eventually on that. If you let it bounce, it usually bounces off the wall and you get less points. But if you can just get it right before it gets to the end, you can kind of just continuously shoot it. So
Yeah, you'll see a lot of people shooting that way too early, and then it doesn't get around to the basket. And
okay, so we
uses
got
up a lot of time.
We got Drew in the chat. He's just kind of a general trivia question maybe we can ask. Who was the tallest NBA player ever? They can be retired or still playing.
Minute ball?
It might have been Manute Bol.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
That's a guess from me because I really don't know the answer. But I mean that's just my natural guess.
Yeah, Grindwork says Bol. I'm going to say Todd McCullough because he's a friend of the show. And he's not the tallest.
He's not anywhere near the tallest, but he is way taller than me.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It was. You know what the funny thing about Matt or Todd was last year when he took a picture next to the stilt walker. It was almost as tall as the stilt walker. That was fantastic. Manute Bol was the correct answer. It seems like.
Yeah.
Was it a few? It all just runs together for me.
Manute Bol, how tall was Manute Bol? He was 8'1" or something like that, or he was big. He was like Andre the Giant size, or maybe taller than Andre.
I wonder if he could drink as many beers as Andre the Giant did.
Not likely.
You know, I'd like to mention that for his first ball on PAPAtv Live, Matt walked up and crushed the entire rest of the team, including multiple times Pennsylvania State champion Chris Stevens.
I like it. It's because of the hat. He's got a fashion. He's a young dude. He's in fashion and everything. He's got a great hat and he got great pinball skills already. He's got 33 points.
Chris, I think you got a challenger.
Yeah.
Step it up, man. Step it up.
Well, I'm trying to avoid this shot as much as possible.
Well, you got two of the combos. That's one of the hardest things to get in the ring. So good start to that.
Yeah, because when Chris gets presented with a challenge, he puts his game face on here.
That is true. Chris has learned how to put on the game face.
So he's doing that.
Peel back
thing
the
right
pleasantness
there.
and
He's
just get to anger.
Yeah, he's got the timing down on the basket there, but he missed it a couple times. But
what was that?
It says Chris Stevens is losing to Dr. Claw.
Well, it's true.
I like it. I like it.
All right, so Jared, what's your strategy here? What are you going to do?
Shoot baskets.
Beat Chris.
Shoot baskets.
Shoot baskets.
Shoot baskets, beat Chris, and beat Jaquay.
Yeah.
If you lose to Jaquay, then you're done. You're not playing anymore.
Wow, the pressure's on.
Killing me over here.
Jared is quickly learning all the tools of the trade for tech work, and he is diving deep and deep into the tech trade.
Oh, he's moving to the dark side for sure. There's no doubt about it. He enjoys playing pinball, but once he gets to that point, he's not going to be. He's just going to be fixing.
And at a certain point, I've heard that all the techs become Steve Eckert at some point. They want the machines to win, and they just don't care about. They want the machines to beat the players.
You know what the funny thing about that is? Every time I come down here and I tell Steve something up with the game, we'll do something just to make it more difficult. And I tell him I applaud him for doing it. So I actually encourage him.
Don't get me wrong. For any flack that I give to Steve,
I know.
I only mean respect because he's one of the great pinball techs that I've ever met.
Except that you called him a liar for talking about.
I'm calling BS on that.
Yeah,
I'm sticking to my guns. I'm sticking to my guns.
The fun is telling Steve and replay a game that has an issue, and he'll know the issue even before I tell him what it is.
Wow, Nick, you did 2 purposeful nudges just to get that to the out lane. I mean, I couldn't have done that any better myself.
Well, there you go again. There's John talking about how awesome he is. He just needs to stop that. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Matt, continue to just dominate these guys.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please.
Try.
Shoot some ramps, make some
Get
shots.
a multi-ball started here.
All right, all you got to do is shoot the S, the O, and the T, and you'll start a multi-ball,
Oh, now you can also do the 1, 2, 3, 4 up top. So.
which is much more difficult.
So how many multi-balls are there, Pete? I mean, what's
There are 3 multi-balls. Well, there's the shoot multi-ball that we've seen. Then there's the round the world, the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's 1 or 2 multi-balls from those green modes on the right side
what are those
that
green
get
ones?
started with
that's
so
where
many
nudging
pop
comes
bumper
in.
hits.
That's
The
okay,
power
man.
hoops.
Sometimes they come down the middle like that. It'll pop through.
So is that really? So it's just pop bumper hits
Yes.
starts this mode. So nothing else involved at all.
Nope.
Okay, I mean, like, how do you light those modes on the left side of the playfield? The ones that are in the little hole to the left, in what I call the creature shot.
They go in order. There's 4 of them over there, and you just shoot it in. After you finish one, the next one's lit. You can't get more than one, so a couple of them are timer-based.
You know what's awesome? They're all food.
It's a snack bar.
They're all food. So I am all for those shots.
Trivia is definitely food.
Oh, yeah. What's Fred's favorite thing? Food. There you go. So he's in shoot-around multi-ball, which, again, you get by shooting the SHOOT.
And during this multi-ball, if you shoot again, it'll light an extra ball.
Which may or may not be collectible in this game.
We turn them back on.
Oh, you turn them on?
Yeah,
Nice.
there's an extra ball for that. There's an extra ball for 12 of those loops that Chris just shot that has to be lit for it. And then 3 free throws will light you an extra ball as well.
Nice.
I'm going to step out and prep for my bad cat strategy, which I've been working all day on.
Yeah, he's been reading.
Cats.
He's been reading diligently.
Oh, come
And
on.
now that we're in ball 3, over on the right out lane, you see the $1 million shot. Hopefully someone will drain down it and we'll get a chance to see that.
So obviously if you make the shot, you win $1 million.
That's right.
Who's going to pay that out?
You send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Williams, and they mail you a check.
Oh, I'm sure at WMS Electronics will enjoy that letter.
And coming into the booth, we have Evan Bookbinder.
How's it going, Petey?
Good.
Small forward, Devin Bookbinder. I
And
like
here's
it.
our $1 million shot.
All right, here we go.
Chris has a quick 24 seconds
Oh, boy.
off
to
the
shoot
trail again.
the free throw shot. If he does, his ball will stay in play. There it is. We got it.
Bam. And you did not win $1 million, Chris. Unfortunately, you get to keep playing, but you don't win any money.
What?
Yep. That's exactly right. It's true. It's a fabrication.
Okay.
So now Chris needs to start working towards probably the around the world.
What should I do? Up top, the in the paint?
Yeah, that's what I'd go for. The in the paints or shoot the tees and get the pop bumpers. The
Well, you got a piece of cake or something over there. That's Hot Dog Mania.
Hot Dog Mania.
I can't see that ramp's in the way.
All the shots score 3 points, except for that one.
So, yeah, there's Hot Dogs. You got a free play, which we're already on free play, so he wins nothing again. So he won nothing twice in this game.
That's the what Chris was doing there. The best thing to do during this mode. The timer resets if you don't make a shot, but if you keep shooting the S over and over, it can be pretty lucrative.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashing lights in this game. There's a lot of things to shoot for in this game.
Nope.
Okay,
see if
trivia
we can help
game.
him out.
Okay, what do we got here? Which NBA player was the leader in rebounds for the 94-95 season? I'm going to say
Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, the worm.
Oh!
That was too easy.
I win.
Chris, did you know that?
No.
Okay.
Ambassador to North Korea.
I would have
I
picked
liked
him
it.
because that's the only one I knew. I mean, I knew a couple names on there, but just like kind of in passing.
Matumbo was on there. He was a big
Yeah,
dude. He was the one
yeah.
with the finger. He just waved his finger at you when he rejected you and threw you into the 6th row.
No.
That's right.
Speaking of rejection, there is a plastic guard up by the 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's often broken off. I'm surprised we haven't put your face on it. like
We don't
the
need
Mick
No.
toy.
No, we don't need my face on any more pinball machines. Thank you very much. I'm already on Big Game and Rolling Stones, but no, we don't need that.
You know what else is something interesting I just noticed was we had a conversation a few episodes back about the number of games that Crazy Bob is present in. I did not realize he was present
He's
in
Crazy Bob.
Yes.
over
NBA
there.
Fastbreak.
Okay, now if Chris hits a free throw here, he'll light another extra ball.
Oh no.
Oh, my.
There it is.
Crazy Bob's.
Crazy Bob's
Charge my phone.
It's out in?
with power hoops.
Okay, now that
So Chris has 2 extra balls now.
All right, we're gonna go for a ring here.
he needs to get the slam dunk combo, which is shooting the.
No, I got the slam dunk.
Like-
It says combination shots complete. The
Oh, that light
the-
must
the
be-
light's
okay.
out.
So it's power hoops.
Power hoops. And
Lots of power
multi-balls.
hoops.
I need around the world too.
Yeah.
Is it best to just like shoot the up the middle to get the pop bumpers? If you need pops.
Well, you can shoot the tee if in the pane isn't lit, it'll go into the pop bumpers. There's a
Oh.
diverter there.
Let's just miss.
You can do that too, but that's not as effective. Oh, nice little bounce over. That's it. Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
He tried.
Big.
He didn't try to do like Nick Jaquay and shake it to the out lane.
And no pop
Nick's
action.
ignoring me. I like it. Did he get rejected? Did you make it?
No
Okay.
name.
Okay.
Oh, that's unfortunate. You only have 2 balls left.
Well, at least I got the green before the end of that one.
Now, for the non-multi-ball ones, you'll see people actually trapping up and timing it out.
Oh, that's what I would do, but that's not fun.
Well, the 100 if you're in tournament, what should you want? 100 points or 20 points?
Is this a trivia question?
Oh, I just ruined the trivia question, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Section 9,
Come on,
Rule
Kobe.
1C. On the game, NBA Fastbreak, using basketball-style scoring, each championship ring collected by the player shall cause their recorded score to be increased by 100 points.
Wow. That's a lot of baskets, man.
You're probably winning at that point.
Yeah, you might. Pretty
Might
sure
be.
you will.
You never know, though. Come on, Kobe.
Well, doing some research about...
No.
Oh, rejected again.
I gotta say it as I shoot it. That's what's my problem.
Yeah, the thing about those, it's weird because I thought they were broken. They just happen to do that. It's almost one of those things where this game is just notorious for it. Because I played both of them, and both of them do exactly the same behavior.
Talking about the 100 points, we used this game in the C division of Papa 18, which was 2015. The top score was 140 points by some guy named Levy Naiman,
Wow.
and second highest was Tim Sexton with 132. So this goes to show you that in 3 years you can become a top-level world-class player or a Stern programmer if you put your mind to it.
You said C division.
C division.
Wow.
The third highest was Ana Rosa, and at the other end of the spectrum, there were 3 players who ended their game with 4 points.
That's not very good.
It's kind of rough.
That's not very rough. That's just bad. All right, what's he got left here?
Still needs his power hoops, and he still needs to get that last in the paint.
And how does he get power hoops?
The pop bumpers.
Okay. It's just a switch count number of them, or
Yes.
How out bounds?
Now here'd be a good chance to use your ball save if it comes out quick and get 2 cracks at the pops.
Listen to that strategy by the West Virginia State champ. There he did it
All right, use my ball save.
on purpose. I saw that. That was on purpose.
Accidentally.
Great strategy.
Oh.
Oh, he blew it.
96 though, pretty good game.
That's not bad. That is not bad.
Matt's gonna have his work cut out for him. Evan Bingham asking, does it tell you how many rings are won in case the scorekeeper is checking? I believe it does, but you can honor system it as well. You tell your scorekeeper, should be able to, well, you'd be playing it 1 player at a time, so survives that big move. And now joining the broadcast team, we have Lewis Bevins. Hello, Lewis.
Hello there, Petey. Since you were just talking about it, another way to check. Since when you win a ring, you get to put your initials in as MVP. You can just watch the play field as a scorekeeper and be like, all right, so this player got 2 rings. Because there's right underneath those yellow arrows are the championship rings. And when you get one, light one up.
It's another interesting thing about this game. Every team that was in the NBA at the time you can choose, and there's a high score for each one, with the first tiebreaker being number of championship rings and then points. So 70 points in a championship ring will beat 190 points and no rings in regards of high scores.
It's all about those rings, man. Doesn't matter how well you do in the season if you don't have a championship ring on your finger. Did it really matter?
That's right.
Says the Celtics fan.
Well, at least one of my teams is still in it.
That is true.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey,
Nice
you gotta
nudge,
get
sir.
rack.
Oh.
Goodbye, flippers.
No million.
You
No million for
missed.
you.
You missed.
It is negative amounts of bueno.
This is another interesting game in that you can play it linked. You can put 2 of them together and play head-to-head.
Nick's back to flipping with 2 hands.
I mean, I'll get rid of my one hand. I don't care.
Your call.
It's too late now.
If you're going to catch Chris, I recommend using 2.
Yeah.
Okay, all he needs is the S and the T for shoot around.
You know, it's no coincidence since these games are developed in Chicago that both pizza and hot dogs are involved.
Naturally. But I think the pizza's a little too thin for Chicago.
The one on the play field? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it isn't about a foot deep. Matt getting the cheers of the crowd behind him.
The chat room is pulling for you, Matt.
We're going to have to add pinballs to the arcades, claw machines, and coin pushers graphic here.
Well, this is a good start. This will get him to second place.
A few more
He's
pops
in
to
his-
do the trick.
He's in his third power mode.
There we go.
Wow, that was a
I didn't want to hit that. Though.
Power
Flying
habit
off
trail.
the rail.
Oh, yeah.
good pass.
Boom.
There we go. Speaking of Matt.
This feed right here. He got a decent
yeah.
one. I was struggling with that. It tends to want to throw it down the middle.
Wow.
It gets it. Shoot around.
That shoot around.
Now if he gets all...
Don't tilt.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And you have a ball save. There was no need to do that.
Did I? Oh, I didn't see it. Not anymore. Oh, man.
You do have a ball save on the left out lane, though, so if it goes over there, don't tilt.
And the right. It's
Well,
ball 3.
Yeah, but...
I got to be careful now.
He's closing in on CDs.
Nice.
No! Oh,
now
$1
you-
dollar.
You need the middle shot here.
All right.
Oh, no.
I couldn't. It was. I would have told him.
Still a good second place finish for Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Mutombo in the background. No, no, no.
Chris Mutombo with the win.
And the car. Yeah, we can do one more, I think.
Yeah. The night's still young there, sir.
All right. So, Replay FX, July 26th through the 29th, 2018, David L. Lawrence Convention Center. Tons of great activities. If you've been paying attention to the Facebook page, they've been listing out some of the things, some of the bands and vendors and activities that will be going on, such as cosplay and face painting, bouncy houses, some of the console tournaments and arcade tournaments. The Windjammer tournament will be back this year. There'll be tons of great events come on out. And last week was I'll get to that story later. Path of Play Day went on, and James and Evan both were up in Toronto to take part of it. And how did that go, guys?
Yeah, so while we're switching over to Bad Cats, we'll take a couple minutes here and talk about the wonderful success story that was Path of Play Day last Saturday. So, yeah, James Coons, our producer, myself, and Elizabeth Cromwell made the journey up to Brampton, a suburb of Toronto, last weekend for just an amazing weekend with Mike Primo, his wife, his son Luke, and to begin, it was just such an overwhelming outpouring of support. Basically, from daybreak Saturday all the way to mid-evening, we had a bunch of families come through Mike's house, playing games with us, pinball, arcade games, board games, so on and so forth, to kind of get the message out there about autism. And what we're finding is that the kids' involvement with these games is really having a very strong beneficial effect, that them playing pinball or arcades or board games or any other game, it's kind of turning their lives around in some capacity. And we were witnessing that. Everybody had so much fun. We had new ambassador James Bowden up there with us. Steve, why did I say James? Steve Bowden. I know Steve, but not that well until last weekend, and just getting to see him kind of demonstrate his pinball skills and teach some newcomers how to play Dialed In and Wizard of Oz and Attack from Mars, and
demonstrating how to destroy a saucer on Attack from Mars.
We can get to that in a minute. So what are your thoughts on how that weekend went? You see the money raised there, over 10,000 Canadian dollars with this charity event is just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it went so great, and the families were having such fun that, we had to push the broadcast back because we just wanted to let the kids and the families really experience all the games a lot more. And, it was just such a fantastic time. And Steve did such a wonderful job up there teaching a lot of these kids how to play pinball, teaching some of the parents. And, I mean, it was just amazing to watch these kids interact with games. And speaking of games, if you go to the broadcast, and we linked it last week during the time we were off, he had the Gamer Olympics, and on Friday, Evan there put up 34 billion on Attack from Mars, which is not a easy score to get to, but when it counted, when all he had to do was open up the saucer and destroy one, he bricked so many shots, I think he built Mike Primo a new house. So
yeah, that was pretty bad. And Gamer Olympics, when we get into Bad Cats, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But it was kind of a new, interesting format that involved kind of a timed marathon, if you will, of an arcade game, a pinball machine, and a physical challenge, if you will. And, I knew my dart throwing skills were horrible, and I had to play excellently at Frogger, which I did, and Attack from Mars I did not play so well at 2:15 in the morning. And yes, sir, you are the inaugural champion of the Gamer Olympics. So definitely tune into the Path of Play broadcast from last week. What did we run, about 4 hours there? And it was a lot of fun. Thanks Teresa and Jake from Maine, and Ryan and Leah and all the people who came to help out last weekend, and Mike, such a wonderful host for all of us here in Pittsburgh. So now we're heading over to Bad Cats, and I'm sure Lewis and Petey know a lot more about this great System 11 game than I do.
Well, I do happen to actually have the keys to the game that, due to our special occasion, we don't have a lovely graphic for this week, but...
Keys to the game.
You're darn right.
Bad Cats.
The first one we have, climb the catwalks. Shooting lit ramps without hitting any other switches leads to repeated millions on the left or extra ball in the center. If they're not lit, shoot either drop target bank to light the ramp on that respective side. And yes, the left ramp does have a single 20 million award on ball 3. So if you could do that on ball 3, that's 20 million points.
Holy cow. So, a special ball 3 only award there for those who can ramp out.
Yes. Second one, JACKPOT.
Jackpot.
Collecting letters in Bad Cats progresses towards the jackpot, which is a word on the center ramp. This jackpot, which is about 3.6 million right now, ranges from 1 to 20. So it could be a very lucrative prize that you're stepping up into. And the last one, the onus on bonus. Hitting the fish linear target, that shot right where the fish is pointing to, advances the fish bonus value. And yes, that is bone as in like your leg bone, us, value, which can be collected at the trash can, which is to the left of that. Going through the right in lane, when lit, will temporarily multiply that trash can by 10 times, up to 5 million points.
That can be pretty big. So let's see. The keys to the game, the first one was pretty obvious. The second one, spelling Bad Cats. So how do we collect letters toward Bad Cats?
Drop targets.
Yup. There's some mystery awards I can give it as well. There's a few different ways to collect letters as it goes.
Boy, if I didn't know better, I'd say Matt's played a few games of Bad Cats
I own
before.
a Bad Cats. I think
Oh,
I
no,
got a
there we
little
go.
And I think I even have a little bit better of an advantage because my cat Goober is not climbing on top while I'm playing, so it's actually it's a lot easier right now.
Petey, you tend to have that problem, don't
Playing
you?
bad cats with a bad cat. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cats are in play. If they decide if they want to be on the playfield glass while you're playing, you don't move them.
That's a replay effects challenge. I want to see it this year. I'm bringing my cat Goober. We'll put a cage over the machine, and it'll be perfect. She'll
So
sit
it's-
right in the middle.
You know, games that have repeatable shots. This one, obviously, both ramps theoretically, and our wonderful master tournament director Doug Polka often does some interesting things to kind of handicap these games. And it looks like the one I noticed right off the bat in practicing, most of our players have already overcome, which is the flippers are dropped substantially below where they should
Yeah, it's
normally
tough to
be
get 'em up them
set
ramps.
up.
Oh, right down the pooper. That's
Good
all
start.
Good ball. So if we have
The judges will allow it.
No, that comment does not get you put in the doghouse.
All right.
bad player. All right, Jared's up.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, the one interesting thing about, well, there's lots of interesting about this game, but the mystery award on the right lane there, you'll see there's the numbers 1 through 8 and a whole bunch of different awards. If you light the doghouse on the right side and shoot it in there, you'll get a mystery award. One of them is light jackpot.
Oh, bad cat.
You could essentially win the game with one lucky spin and one ramp shot.
So it's basically a roulette wheel in the center of sorts.
Yep.
All right, Nick Jaquay, the captain of the Steel City Pinball League, steps up.
You can't play basketball. Let's see how he does with animals. Seems unusual. I mean, we have somebody else besides Fred to pick on this week.
I know. And Jake.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jake has to be out right now serving his city duty.
And yeah,
And by city duty, I mean watching sports.
right. Jake brings wins to the pens.
And
so
through
is,
one ball, the current leader is Matt again.
Yeah.
Pressure's on, John.
I feel no pressure.
The Pennsylvania State champion was able to come back against him. How about the Pennsylvania State runner-up?
Oh.
All right, Mr. West Virginia.
You saw me. I got out of his way. I wanted
4
nothing to
Tiger
do with him.
Ramps. 4.5 Tiger Ramps. 4 1/4.
Yep.
And a trash can bonus.
It's not very good.
He emptied the kitty litter, though.
10 times an empty kitty litter is still worth something.
It's worth a clean house.
It's a very clean house if it's 10 times the cleaning.
Jessica, when Matt steps up for his next ball, we'll ask him that question for you.
Dang.
You see, The chat room is saying it's Tiger Ramp all day, and it seems to be what the players are going for. If extra balls were on, you'd probably go for the middle ramp enough to get the extra ball, and then go to the Tiger Ramp strategy.
Yeah, you definitely.
I forgot that center post was there, and he got it.
Let that tilt settle a little bit.
Good move. While you're waiting for that to settle, the chat room's wondering, Matt, are you going to Zone 28 on Wednesday?
Wait, Wednesday? Yeah, possibly. I'm usually there in like afternoon.
What is Zone 28?
Zone 28's an arcade out in Harmer. It used to be called Fun Fest. They remodeled it. They got bowling, laser tag. They actually have 3 pins. They have an Avatar LE, a Spider-Man, and WWE, which is an LE. I think it's signed by a wrestler or something.
I believe it is. I have seen this LE, and it does have signatures on it.
All right, here we go. Let's get this O here. Oh.
Yeah.
He's going for the O. One lane will be blinking, and you can't change it, so you have to plunge and nudge.
Oh!
Tough ball there.
Yeah, I wish you could change
I'm
it.
trying to figure out what's going on in the background. Fred's a Celtics fan, perhaps.
Cats, there's a broom on the back ladder.
Oh.
Somebody's getting hit with a broom before the time's up.
I'd like to dedicate this
Yes,
game
there.
of Bad Cats.
There it is.
I'd like to dedicate this game of Bad Cats to Renge.
Aww. Bad cat. Get out of here.
Hey,
Bad cat.
leave Renge alone. She's a good girl.
Sarah will jack me up.
She will jack you up.
There's another replay challenge. Have Fred with a broom.
All right.
Wow.
It could be a replay challenge. It could be at any time.
All right, guys. Question from the chat. Let's start with Jared while he's training. What is your favorite what is your favorite pinball table?
This one right here, Bad Cats.
Bad Cats?
That is not true at all.
You are a liar. You don't know that. You suffer.
All right. Same question to you, Nick. What is your favorite pinball table?
Not NBA Fastbreak.
No, not at all. Flight 2000 for sure. Yeah, ready to fight. Actually, for John,
It is Flight
we'll
2000.
say it's old Chicago. How's that sound?
Oh.
Did something happen at Kickback?
Yeah, it goes way back, way back. I used to own an old Chicago, and I stuck a Powerball in it, and everybody called me the Carney.
And the rest was history?
Yeah,
That's where the Carney comes from.
We'll just leave it at that.
So that's why people make that Powerball in old Chicago joke, huh?
John's favorite.
It was a lot of fun, though. It actually made the game even more challenging.
What else did we have a Powerball in? Like X's and O's or something?
Yeah.
What did you put a Powerball in during your tournament, Petey?
It ended up in the pool game. It's down there.
Star Pool.
Star Pool, that's it.
Also, at Allentown this weekend, they had an 8-ball with a Powerball in it.
Nice.
What if you put like 5 or 6 Powerballs on a TZ?
Well,
You get
every ball
Powerball
would be
mania.
Powerball.
That's not distracting at all.
Obviously, John is a bad cat.
This reminds me of my wrestling days. It's not a plunger. Active slings.
Now, you'll see that the outlanes are blinking.
That means I don't want to go there, right?
No, that could be good. That could be awful.
I'm curious as to what those outlanes do.
Well, hopefully you'll find out.
Put it on the board, yes!
2.
Yeah, the 2 is a slight misnomer there. That is actually a 20. But you don't get that again. You get that once.
And then it's just, what, unlimited millions?
Unlimited millions, as long as you don't hit another switch.
Which aren't horrible.
All right,
now
here comes the spin.
the curiosity spin.
What's the curiosity spin?
Come on,
That's-
6.
Extra ball.
Left or right drain, you get
Boo.
Boo.
Wah,
Because
wah.
10,000 is almost 20 million.
Oh man.
right.
You got the best shot in the game right there, man.
All right, Matt, we have a question from the chat for you.
Yeah.
Heathcliff or Garfield?
Garfield.
Garfield all day?
Matt, you have to catch John without hitting the 20 million shot.
That's insane.
All right. Sounds like somebody's going to be shooting fish all day.
Tune in tomorrow morning. It's
Yeah. You're the only one who appears to have any bad cat letters, so go get the jackpot. You don't have to be John. Just get the
I
jackpot.
just want to get the doggy, man.
Doggy dog world.
I wonder if they have
Ball
the,
save is not an option.
extra balls. Is it
Yeah,
on?
extra balls are off. We didn't turn them back on this one.
They nerfed it, as we say in the arcade world.
We use that word too.
Not good.
Speaking of somebody who's probably nerfed this game, Jared Chambers steps up.
We have
Well, who's this ball dedicated to, Jared?
this one's dedicated to Olivia, Paris, and on Nanners down at home, down in Newcastle.
Aww.
But
Shout outs to Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Shout outs to cats.
Newcastle.
Newcastle, clever. That's done.
All right.
I don't
spin
think
time.
it wasn't done. You made it done.
I did
Come
not
on,
make
light
it
the
done.
jackpot. The greatest curiosity spin of all.
Spin again.
And you get another 50,000.
Sorry, guys, I failed you.
We might give you another chance.
All right.
My goal is to beat Jared.
That's a good goal.
All right. Jaquay, what is your favorite food? The chat is wondering.
The who?
The chat is wondering
Oh,
what
the
is your
chat.
favorite food?
Vincent's Pizza Park.
Yeah.
Waffles.
We'll go with. I don't know. I like sushi. How's that sound?
All right.
Nick's also a fan of Indian.
Yeah, after all, we had my birthday this year.
Chat's asking, what's our streaming schedule? You can normally find us Monday nights at 7:30. There's occasionally some other special episodes when things come up, like a new game release we get, or a special guest is in town. And then we'll also do tournament coverage for some select events. We'll be at New York for
This weekend, I believe.
Next weekend.
Okay.
And there are a couple other events coming up where PAPAtv will be broadcasting the event.
Mm-hmm. You want to name some of those off the top of your head?
I don't know if it's been officially announced yet, so no. I know New York has, so we'll go with that one.
All righty.
Pinburg's been announced.
Well, of course. Have to have the Papa flagship in the streaming list. So, Nick, while we were sitting over here talking about tournaments, you're over here shooting tag.
Hey.
Does that just a post?
That
was
was a
just the
beautiful
post.
post.
That was nice.
It was a beautiful post.
All right, left ramp.
Good
2.
sometimes. Wah, wah, wah.
It's good.
Oh. But the 20 million is good.
I beat you, Jared.
Player one gets to put his initials in.
So, John, was this your bad cat strategy all along?
Bad cats. Oh.
Bad Fred.
Oh.
I did not expect that part of it.
All right.
Apologies for dying of laughter into the microphone there.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't let John put his name in. He's already a narcissist anyways. We doing 4 players? 4 players? All right. Okay, this is the part of the show where bad pinball's played.
And commentary gets good.
Oh, the
I'm going to step
commentary's-
back out, let Matt come back over, and talk about bad cats and whatever he wants to talk about.
Oh, that was great.
Wow.
That was awful.
Fred, that was terrible.
Thank you.
Welcome
guys?
back to the.
Welcome
back to
back,
the
Matt.
booth,
What's up?
So, how long have you had this Bad Cats for?
I've had this for almost a year now.
Okay. Any room for more? You know,
I
you can't
wish.
just have one pinball
I
machine.
know. I wish. I barely have room for anything.
8 claw machines.
Yeah, another claw game. I barely have room for another Mega Touch. It's getting cramped in there. I just have a game in it, like every room in my house, kitchen, dining room. It's wherever you can fit them. If I were to get another one, though, it'd be the new Spider-Man, hands down.
The Vault Edition?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. The layout on that table is just amazing, and it's just.
I agree. If you make room, you know where to find me. I got one.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, by the way, your loving fans have been asking a bunch of questions, so if you want to come on, look over and field any of them at any time, feel free.
What's up? Yeah, thanks for joining, guys. And again, subscribe to the Papa Pinball here on YouTube. They do live streams every week, and they're just awesome. So, and they'll probably get you into. Oh, what a save! Oh, almost. Try to get that. Yeah, now hit that for 5 million.
Is it lit?
Yeah,
It looks shiny.
Shiny's good.
So is he going for the fish or the garbage can?
he's going for the
fish.
garbage can. Gets 5 million.
Yeah.
because it's times 10.
He's already got the fish, now he just needs the garbage.
I like garbage.
I don't think there's a time. Well, there's a time limit on the very target. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, very target to 500K, but you have to go on the in lane that lights the 10x.
Yeah.
All right, Gamer Olympics champion. Let's see what you got. He can't even
trying to
try
light
a
that
short
Y.
plunge. I don't know what he's trying to do.
Oh, he's trying to just nip that Y there, like just get it over the.
There we go.
What that does is it
Yeah.
lights the barbecue, which increases the bumpers, the
Okay.
bumper value. I can't remember by how much, but
I believe
it's always a good thing to.
You tack an extra 0 on the end. They're 500, now they're
Yeah,
5,000.
sounds right.
If I were you, though, I'd get a mouse and a round to put right next to this.
So you want to mouse around? Oh, the cats would love that.
That's
one.
pretty spot on.
I got a special that did nothing.
That one drives me nuts though because I don't know.
I
don't
love
know if
that
it's
game.
just that center ramp that you hit it and then boom, it drains.
You can't hit Papa's. They put 2 giant donut rubbers in front of the thing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is he gonna go for the doghouse here?
Oh, no, he's got that nice
go
shiny
for that 5
fish.
million.
Well,
Or
get
go
that
for the
doghouse
doghouse.
first.
Seafood. Now they do have the light jackpot turn off, which I recently did on mine, guys. Because you can go into the settings and turn off like number 5, so it doesn't light the jackpot. Which because it was I even had it set on like 5%, and it was just giving it to me constantly. So I'm like, we're gonna turn it off, and the only other way to get the jackpot is to light all the letters, like they said before, and that's by hitting the drop targets. So it's a lot more difficult.
All right, question from the chat. I'll let you field it first, Matt. What do you think of the Addams family?
I don't think much about him really.
Well, about
Oh, you mean the
pinball
pinball?
table.
Oh, the
Yeah,
pinball.
the
The
pinball
pinball.
We're at Papa
Okay,
here. We're
I
at
see.
Papa
I was
here.
like, okay, all right, here we go. I haven't played it enough to really have an opinion on it. I want to say Games and that in the South Side has it, or they did have it. Yeah, it's not bad.
There's one at Victory Point actually.
Oh, really?
They have the gold edition ROMs in it too.
Oh, okay.
But
Is that what era would you say that? That's probably what.
that would be like early modern. It's getting into like the mid 90s at that point.
Okay.
It's kind of like right at that borderline where Papa might, like depending on what the game is, Papa might call it a modern or a solid state for Pinburg, but
Okay. Who's old enough to remember Track and Field?
oh yeah,
Great arcade game.
Yeah.
there's actually at least one of them here, if not like 3.
What, track and field?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that at
We have
replay.
two track and fields.
It's interesting to see some of the videos on how people kind of take advantage of scoring on that game using spoons and other.
Pencil and a comb was my tool of choice.
Pencil and a comb.
And a comb. And it worked like great.
Wow.
What was it, a switchblade comb too? So you'd like whip it out right as you're about to play?
Well, I did live in Wilkinsburg, so it could have been, it was a rough area, so I did have a switchblade comb.
Chris Stevens stepping back up.
Yeah. I don't know how I made that save off of the post, but it's there. So is it still lit at 500K?
Yeah, it looks like it,
all
but
I
it
need is an inlane?
Well, yeah, you need, but the inlane changes as you hit the bumpers, so it'll switch back and forth.
Skill shot.
I also believe the fish value goes down if you don't hit it, or maybe that's a setting. I don't know. I haven't seen it go below.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything
500K.
too
I know mine
drastic with
does.
it yet.
Oh, you didn't have 10. You didn't have the 10x, but you still got $500,000.
I just wanted points.
Gotta get that bonus.
So he would have to build this all the way back up again then.
Right.
Yup.
Okay.
Yeah. And the slings are what changes the inlane, what lights on the inlane. So and that's how you light the bulldog
Boom.
thing too.
Boom.
Not good.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So, weird little mechanical fun fact about this game. That's actually not a very target. That's what they call a linear target.
Yeah, my bad.
Slightly, it's the same exact idea as a very target. It's just, it's kind of like a plunger where you're pushing it in instead of like a target that flips back.
Right, yeah. I always get those two confused.
Well, it is one of this is like one of the only few games, if not the only game, with a linear instead of a very.
Yeah, actually, the manual or the sales flyer, I found it online somewhere, and it actually was it was like one of the selling points. It was like first machine ever for a linear target.
All this. Have you seen any of the other flyers? Some of the sales points are great.
The slogans are,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of interesting marketing tactics they used on pinball flyers back in the day. Even some of them still
all
to this day.
spins all day.
There were a lot of
That's it.
games
Nice.
back then
Strategy.
competing for operator business simultaneously, so
Give it to me.
They
Give
had
it
to
to
do
me.
that.
Oh.
that's not bad.
I don't think they have light jackpot turned on.
It was on earlier.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we never changed
Yeah,
anything.
I got it, Matt, in a
okay.
practice game.
One of the risky things about the, going for the linear target on this is that it does tend to, fall at a very bad angle, and it just tends to drain.
Yeah, kind of straight down the middle.
Yeah. So it's risky, but...
Ooh, that's rough.
That hit that wood so cleanly.
So mine at home is, I think I need to fix this, or I don't know, maybe it's like it on purpose, but when it shoots out of the bulldog, it hits that whatever that is there, the rubber sling there.
Oh yeah, the
the
black
one next
thing.
to the black thing next to the light.
Yeah.
No, Petey wants the light jackpot. That's what he was pointing at.
And the ball will hit it depending on what speed it comes out, and it'll left drain almost every time unless you nudge.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's like perfect. So like I don't know if I need to file that down or what the deal is. Oh!
Evan's got a decent amount of pinball repair and maintenance skills, so he could probably help you out with that.
Yeah, I can trade that knowledge for some coin pusher
There we
or
go.
claw machine
Claw
knowledge.
wins.
All right,
So,
sounds good.
so Fred, you're in kind of a not so great position here on ball 3.
No, I'm actually in a great position. I was just going to tell you, it seems like I suck, which I do, first and foremost. But all I got to do is shoot 5 ramps. I get 20 million, and I'm way in the lead.
Well, easier said than done, Fred.
But it is a special day for you, Fred. So you kind of deserve a good ball here.
Every day's a special day. Any day above ground is a special day, Evan.
Especially when you grew up in Wilkinsburg.
You're right.
You made it this far. Happy birthday, Fred.
Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday, Fred.
Happy birthday,
guys.
Fred.
All right, that's so nice.
Fred's like, we're
Screw
not
you
talking
guys.
about that during the
Pinball
stream.
time.
It's pinball time.
It's bad cat time.
I can't even do it. Look at that.
Don't get too fancy now.
There's a half a ramp
See,
right
he's
there.
getting.
I only need 4.5 more ramps.
All right, let's see if you can do 5 in a row
Oh,
here,
that's bad.
guys.
Hit the
5
ball.
left ramps gets
4
him.
left ramps
Yeah,
left?
a half ramp
That's
and
like another half
3/4
ramp?
ramp do not add up to
Yeah.
1 ramp.
Okay, let's see. I got to shoot this thing clean.
Flip harder.
There's one.
There you go.
Oh, there's none.
And arrow. Now you got to start over and forget it.
Hold
down,
on.
he's
I get a
drained.
special spin. I get a curiosity spin. I was just going to say, I'm curious
Come on,
too.
like jackpot.
It's going to say 10,000 because I suck anyway, so.
One more time.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, another
Just
spin.
like press your luck.
Yeah, no whammies. Stop.
What do I
Yeah,
get?
too bad.
Hey.
That's the better one you can get.
Well, that pretty much still solidifies me in last place, so.
Yeah, not yet.
This is Bad Cats. Anything can happen.
So is there anything we haven't seen yet we can make Chris fight for?
Yeah, that was.
Did we see a no flip yet?
Yes.
Well, I think we just saw
Yeah.
it.
I got us covered.
Wait. We haven't seen a light jackpot yet.
I don't think
Aw.
I think if you drain, it doesn't give you the light jackpot.
That'd just
Aw.
be mean.
That sounds about right for some pinball games.
Yeah. I could be wrong though.
Wow. Producer's in position to win here.
Oh, my
man,
God,
I
that
almost
was
jinxed it.
Yeah, thanks, Evan.
Haven't you heard of something called the commentator's curse?
Get one more on the linear target for 5 million here. There you go. He's set.
You just gotta
I
find
wonder
that-
if he even knows that trash can is there.
Yeah. Trash can get you. Oh no!
Oh no!
Still winning, Chris.
For reference, Arcade Chaos, because Matt decided to come chill with us today, we actually had a different game up here, proposed Bobby Orr's Power Play for the other major playoff going on right now. But it's a special occasion. We thought we'd celebrate with some Bad Cats.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Wow. Petey's loving those in lanes. That's 3.
Got the wheel. Let's see if he gets the light jackpot.
Petey's on the seafood diet.
Mine must be bugged because it gives jackpot every time.
One more time.
There might be a setting.
Yeah, there is. And I put mine on that like 5%, and it's still giving it to me. I'm like, all right, you know what? We're turning it off. I want to try to get the drop targets.
Bad Cats targets.
Nice pass, but is he going for the fishbowl?
It's either the oh, curiosity spin
No,
time.
we haven't had a jackpot yet, so.
And he gets a 4.
So, John, will you be playing some Bad Cats?
No, we're actually going to call it an evening. It's been such a nice time with all of you this evening. And Matt, thank you so much for joining us. And
Yeah, thanks for having me.
we'd welcome you back to PAPAtv Live anytime you want to slum with us.
Yeah, definitely.
And so from all the crew here at PAPAtv Live, we wish you a great evening and happy flipping.
Happy flipping.
And thanks for watching. As we always say. Well, at least as I always